So this is When Someone Dies, a children's mindful how-to guide on grief and loss by Andrea Dorn. This book is dedicated to all children and grown-ups who have had to learn to live their lives without someone they love. And this next page that says "Read Me First" is a really great page. It introduces you to the Mindful Step series and what it's about. The Mindful Step series are process stories, and process stories are teaching tools that help relay or communicate information to a child concretely. And they allow children also to process their emotions and questions and feelings about these tricky concepts. So they're meant to be a teaching tool, but also a connection building tool. And when you're using this with your child, one of the great things about process stories is that you can read it piecemeal. So you can just read the parts that make sense to where your child is at developmentally. And so sometimes that might look like reading the whole book. Other times it might look like just reading part of the book or reading the full book, but just parts on each page. Also, one other important note is all of my books contain these optional engagement questions at the bottom of most of the pages. So you can use these questions, they're open-ended, in order to sort of build a deeper understanding of the concepts that you're talking about in the book. I encourage using them, and then I also encourage parents, caregivers, professionals to use reflective listening and validation when your child responds to these questions. So it can be a great way, again, to build connection and to learn what your child knows and what they're thinking about. All right, let's get started. Oh, hi there. What is your name? Really? That is my name too. I am growing every day, and as I grow, I get to learn lots of fun things. It can be exciting to learn new things and get to know new people in my life. But sometimes people in my life go away. People go away for different reasons and for different amounts of time. Sometimes when someone goes away, it means I can't see them right now, but I can see or talk to them again later. But there are times when people go away because they have died. When someone dies, it means that all the parts of their body and mind have stopped working, and they won't start working again. This means I won't be able to see or talk to them anymore. Dying is a normal part of life, but when someone close to me dies, lots of confusing things can happen inside of my body and around me. To help me feel better, I am learning how to say goodbye and grieve. Grief is a special word for all the feelings I have when someone dies. Grief feelings can be tricky, but learning how to work through these feelings can help me feel better and remember the person who died. Here is how I grieve and say goodbye when someone dies. When I first learn someone has died, I might have a lot of different feelings. I might feel mad, I might feel sad, I might feel confused, I might not know how to feel. I might even feel just fine, like nothing even happened. It is good to know that any feelings I have are okay. After someone dies, it is very important to have special time to say goodbye. Kids all over the world say goodbye to people who have died. They say goodbye in many different ways. They may say goodbye at a funeral, at a memorial service, at a visitation, by spreading ashes, by visiting the gravesite of the person who died. or by writing a letter or drawing a goodbye picture. After someone dies, there may be some changes in my life. The things around me might look or seem different. People around me might also act or seem different. They may have their own grief feelings. Over time, I might have lots of grief feelings inside of me. My grief feelings can be big or small. Sometimes I might even have more than one feeling at a time. And sometimes I might not even realize that my feelings are caused by my grief. Here are some of the grief feelings I might have. Sometimes I might feel very sad. Sometimes I might feel very angry. Sometimes I might wonder if there's anything I can do to make the person who died come back. Sometimes I might forget that things have changed or that someone has even died. And sometimes I might feel calm and peaceful or even happy when I remember the person who died. My grief feelings can show up at any time for any reason and make me feel like I'm on a roller coaster. They can take me up and down, last for a long time, or change quickly. They can be confusing and tiring. But all of my feelings are okay and are a normal part of grieving. When I feel upset, there are 3 things I can do to help me feel better. I call these my feel better steps. First, I can stop and take a deep belly breath. I breathe in and let the air fill my belly like a balloon. Then I breathe out and let my belly balloon deflate. I can notice how my body and heart feel and remember that it's okay to be upset. My feelings are important, and when I pay attention to them, they help me to know what I need. Next, I can feel my feet on the floor, spread my arms out wide, wrap them around myself in a big hug, and squeeze myself tight. I can remember that the feeling I'm having won't last forever. Then I can find someone I love to talk to or sit with. I can remember I am never alone. Let's practice together. I walk by a park and start to feel sad. Seeing the swings remind me of the person in my life who died. What could I do? Stop and breathe, give myself a hug, talk to someone I love. That's it. Great job. Let's try another one. I wake up in the morning and I don't feel happy. I'm angry and annoyed by everyone, and I don't even know why. What could I do? Stop and breathe, give myself a hug, talk to someone I love. You got it. Way to go. There are also some other things I can do to help me work through my grief feelings. I can draw a picture of how I feel, move my body, write a letter, allow myself to cry or feel my feelings, talk to a therapist or someone I trust, take care of myself, join a grief and loss group, sing or act out my feelings, share memories of the person who died. And it's okay if the memories are good or not so good. My grief feelings will come and go and change over time. Sometimes I might forget to use my feel better steps, or I might be too upset to work through my grief feelings. That's okay. I can be gentle with myself and know I can keep practicing, and so can you. And when I'm ready, I can find new ways to remember or even feel close to the person who died. I can look for signs that remind me of them, start a journal of memories or make a memory box, Look at pictures or videos. Plant a tree. Share stories. Celebrate their birthday. Start a tradition in their honor. Or wear their favorite sweater. Snuggle up in their favorite blanket, or do one of their favorite things. I might not feel this way right now, and it might not happen right away. But over time, and when I am ready, I will slowly start to feel better. And I'll know it's okay to feel better. I'll be able to remember the person who died and be happy at the same time. And if the person who died was someone I loved very much, I'll know this person will always be a special part of my memories. And the love we shared will always be a part of me. Working through my grief feelings will help me grow and learn more than I ever knew was possible. Sometimes growing up is fun, and sometimes it can be tricky. But no matter what, I'm glad I have you to grow with. See you next time. So that is the end of the book part. But in the back of all of the Mindful Steps series book, there's a meditation for children and a meditation for caregivers or professionals. And my meditations for children, I always set to music or a simple song. And the meditations are special because they go over the important steps that were talked about in the book. And when I add them to music, it's in an attempt to help kids really internalize the steps. Music is always a great way to do that. Kids really resonate with music, and they are able to retain more information when you put it to song. So sometimes when I do this meditation with kids, I'll just do the first or the fourth stanza just to shorten the song and remind them of some of the more important steps. But if a child is older or they're able to sit for a little bit longer, I'll do the whole thing, either spoken or sung. But today I would like to do it for you sung. And you can find all of my meditation songs on YouTube at the Mindful Steps series. I have just little animated videos of each of them. But this is my first time doing this, so we'll see how it goes. If you'd like, you can try to sing along. All right, here we go. With one hand on my tummy and one hand on my chest, I stop and breathe and notice to give my mind some rest. When someone dies, it's hard. Life changes day to day. I'm learning things can change and that I can be okay. Grief feelings can be tricky for me and others too. And when I feel upset, here's what I can do. First I stop and breathe, then I give myself a hug. Next I sit or talk out loud with someone who I love. I hear the birds that sing, and I see the sun that shines. I'm grateful I was in your life, and you were a part of mine. And you were a part of mine. And you were a part of mine. So that is my meditation for children, my grief and loss meditation for children. Again, hopefully you can use that and play that as a way to remind kids and empower them to use the social, emotional, and coping skills that are available to them. And, I think a lot of this book is about learning things, but it takes a lot of time to really incorporate these skills into your life. So I'm hopeful that this song will just be another way that you can help your child or your client to do that. All right, on the next page, there is an expanded feelings chart. I talk about some of the feelings in the book, but we know that there's a wide range of emotions that come with grief and loss. So here are some other emotions that you can talk about with your child or client. There's a letter to caregivers and teachers and therapists. And then on the next page, there are some definitions of grief, the different types of grief, though this is not an all-inclusive list. And then a developmental guide to kind of understanding how children understand death based on their age. All right, that is the end. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this was a fun, at least helpful reading for you. I would love to connect with you. You can find me at andreadorn.com, on Instagram at Mindful Step Series, and on Facebook and on YouTube. But I just want to thank you for joining me today and celebrating my book birthday. I hope you will check out this book and celebrate with me by sharing it and buying it for the kiddos in your life. Have an awesome day. And again, thanks for joining me.